Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we've got a story that'll blow your mind, a story about the 2004 1-cent coin, a penny that's worth far more than you'd ever expect. Let's get started. First things first, how much is a regular 2004 penny worth? On its own, the 2004 penny is worth just, well, 1 cent. It's made of copper-plated zinc, like most pennies today. But in the world of coin collecting, this little piece of copper can sometimes fetch way more than face value, especially if you know what you're looking for. Now, let's talk about the history behind the 2004 penny. This coin was minted during a pivotal time in U.S. history. President George W. Bush was in office, the Iraq War was ongoing, and the country was in the midst of economic changes. 2004 marked a year of transformation, and the penny that was produced that year reflects an important change in U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint began a new series of pennies in 2004, called the State Quarters series, which celebrated each of the 50 U.S. states. But that's not where the story ends. You see, while most people think of pennies as throwaway change, there are certain rare variations of the 2004 penny that have caused collectors to go wild. One of the most sought-after variations of the 2004 penny is the 2004 D double die obverse penny. Sounds complicated, right? Let me break it down for you. Basically, a double die error happens when the coin's die, this is the metal stamp that strikes the coin, gets misaligned during the minting process. This results in a doubling effect on the design. In the case of the 2004 D penny, this error shows up on the letters, particularly the word liberty and the phrase, "In God We Trust," on the obverse side of the coin. As you can see, the letters on the double die penny are not just bold, they appear to have a ghostly second impression just to the side of the original one. It's subtle, but once you know what to look for, it's easy to spot. Now, here's where things get crazy. A single one of these 2004 D double die obverse pennies has been sold at auction for upwards of $840,000. And when you factor in the rarity of the coin, some collectors believe it could be worth much more down the line, maybe even up to $841 million, as one expert has estimated. That's right. A penny, worth just a single cent when it was first minted, could now be worth nearly $1 million, or, in some cases, much more. It's not just any coin, it's a coin that holds historical significance, rarity, and a special error that makes it stand out from the rest. But what makes this penny so rare, and why is it so valuable to collectors? Well, the 2004 D double die obverse error occurred in relatively small numbers, making it hard to find. Coin errors like this one are often the result of mistakes that happen during the minting process, and when they do, only a few coins are typically released into circulation before the minting process is corrected. Coin collectors, or numismatists, know that rare, flawed coins are highly prized because they tell a unique story about the minting process, and they offer a piece of history that's unlike anything else. But hold on, that's not all. There's more to the story of valuable pennies beyond the 2004 D double die error. Condition matters a lot when it comes to the value of a coin. A well-preserved 2004 penny with sharp details and little to no wear and tear can be worth more than a circulated, worn-out penny. That's why some collectors are willing to spend a pretty penny, pun intended, on coins in mint condition. For those of you who don't know, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 2004 penny in mint state condition could easily fetch a price that's many times higher than its face value. So, where can you find a 2004 penny that might be worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars? Well, it's not going to be in just any jar of coins you've got lying around. To find one of these rare pennies, you'll need to pay close attention when you go through rolls of pennies from the bank, or if you happen to find one in your change. And remember, it's all about the details, check for doubled lettering or exceptional conditions. You can also buy coin rolls or browse online auction sites to get your hands on some of these valuable coins. But remember, before you get too excited, always verify a coin's authenticity and condition through a trusted grading service. So, what do you think? Will you be checking your spare change more carefully from now on? If you happen to find one of these rare 2004 pennies, you could be sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about valuable coins and the fascinating world of numismatics. And as always, happy hunting! Next 1982 1-cent USA coin. Today, we're going to uncover the value, the history, and why the 1982 penny could be worth millions. It's a story you won't want to miss. In 1982, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. The 1-cent coin was, and still is, an everyday item found in your pocket, wallet, or purse. But there's one thing that makes the 1982 penny different from the rest: a pivotal change in its composition and a rare minting error. 1982 was a year of major change in the United States. The economy was in the middle of a recession, the price of oil was high, and inflation was rising. But for coin collectors, 1982 marked the year that the U.S. Mint made a significant change to the composition of the penny. For the previous 100+ years, pennies had been made primarily from copper. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint began using a new composition for the penny starting in 1982. This new version was made up of 97.5% zinc with just 2.5% copper plating. However, the minting process wasn't smooth, and this change led to some fascinating errors. Now, here's the twist. While the mint intended to switch to the zinc-based penny, some copper pennies were still produced in 1982. This mix-up created a rare copper 1982 penny, which was made in limited quantities. So, right off the bat, you could be holding a penny that is worth far more than its face value. You see, the copper pennies from 1982 are highly prized by collectors because of their composition. These copper pennies are considered much more valuable than the standard zinc ones, simply because copper is a rarer metal, and because so few of these copper pennies were actually made. So, how do you tell the difference between a copper and zinc 1982 penny? It's all about the weight and sound. A copper 1982 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc penny weighs just 2.5 grams. If you have a scale handy, you'll be able to spot the copper version right away. And the sound test? It's simple. Drop a copper penny and a zinc penny side by side. The copper penny will make a sharper, higher-pitched sound, while the zinc penny will sound duller. Just like that, you'll know whether you have a rare copper penny or a standard zinc penny. But that's not the only thing that makes the 1982 penny worth big money. There's also an important minting error that occurred during this year. Some 1982 pennies, whether they were zinc or copper, were produced with significant die errors. One of the most famous 1982 errors is the 1982 D mint mark, double die obverse penny. In this case, the minting die was misaligned, which resulted in a doubling of the design on the obverse side of the coin. Specifically, the word liberty and the phrase, "In God We Trust," appeared doubled on the coin. This error made the coin much more valuable to collectors. Collectors consider these types of double die errors as a rare find, and they can really increase the value of a coin. The 1982 double die obverse penny is so sought after that it can fetch upwards of $580,000 at auction, depending on its condition. So, why are these minting errors such a big deal? Well, minting errors are rare because most coins are made with precision. When a mistake happens, it makes the coin unique, sometimes to the point where it becomes priceless in the eyes of collectors. The value of a coin like the 1982 double die obverse can fluctuate, but it's not uncommon for it to sell for more than $500,000. In fact, some experts believe that in the future, as fewer of these coins are found, their value could rise even higher, potentially reaching the $580 million mark for the most pristine examples. But here's the catch: finding one of these rare 1982 pennies with the double die error isn't easy. You'll have to search through large quantities of pennies to find one in perfect condition, and that's not something you can just do on a whim. That said, with the right knowledge and a little luck, you could strike gold. So, if you're thinking about diving into the world of coin collecting, how can you start looking for these valuable 1982 pennies? The easiest way to find these rare coins is to go through penny rolls from the bank or check your own change. Look for 1982 pennies that are in good condition, no heavy wear, no scratches. And remember, don't just look for copper pennies or double die errors. Look for other potential errors, like off-center strikes or weak strikes, which can also significantly increase a penny's value. Another great option is to visit coin dealers or check out online auction sites where rare coins are sold. However, when purchasing coins online, be sure to do your due diligence and verify that the coin is authentic and correctly graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. So, if you're ever lucky enough to find a 1982 copper penny with a minting error or a double die obverse, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. It's truly incredible how such a small, seemingly ordinary coin can turn out to be worth so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins and the exciting world of numismatics, be sure to like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. And if you happen to find one of these rare pennies, don't forget to let me know. You could be sitting on a fortune. Stay tuned for more fascinating stories about rare coins, their history, and the surprising treasures hidden in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting. Next, 1981 D 1 cent USA coin. Today, we've got something really exciting, a penny from 1981 that could be worth millions. It sounds too good to be true, right? But trust me, it's very real. Let's dive right into the history and mystery of the 1981 D penny. First things first, let's talk about the history of the 1981 penny. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 1981, as it does every year. Most of these pennies were standard 1-cent coins made from copper-plated zinc. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1981 D penny is known for a rare minting error that makes it stand out from the rest of the 1981 coins. This error involves the D mint mark, which represents the Denver Mint where these pennies were struck. Some of these 1981 D pennies have a double die error, making them extremely rare and highly valuable. So, what is a double die error? Well, in simple terms, a double die error happens when the coin's die, the metal stamp that strikes the design on the coin, becomes misaligned or improperly struck, causing the design to appear twice. This can happen when the coin is struck more than once by the die, but in a slightly off-center way. The result? A doubled image on the coin. In the case of the 1981 D penny, the Liberty inscription and "In God We Trust" phrase on the obverse side of the coin show a noticeable doubling effect. You can clearly see the second set of letters next to the original ones, and it creates a distinct visual effect that collectors absolutely love. So, you might be wondering, why does this error make the coin worth so much? Well, rare minting errors like this one are highly sought after by collectors because they are a piece of history. The rarity of the coin combined with its unique flaw makes it extremely valuable. And since only a small number of these double die error 1981 D pennies were produced, they're even harder to come by today. Now, you might be asking, how much could a single 1981 D double die error penny actually be worth? Well, it's not just a few dollars or a couple of $100. These coins have sold for well over $700,000 at auction, with some examples even reaching into the millions. That's right, a penny, something most of us toss aside every day, could be worth up to $712 million, according to some expert appraisers and collectors. It's incredible, right? A coin that costs just 1 cent when it was minted could, with the right error and the right condition, be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or more. And this isn't just a fluke. The demand for rare minting errors continues to grow, and the value of these types of coins tends to increase over time, especially as fewer of them are discovered. Now, how do you go about finding one of these rare 1981 D pennies? Well, your best bet is to check through rolls of pennies from the bank or to sort through your own change carefully. When looking for a 1981 D penny, it's important to know that not every 1981 D penny has the double die error. Only those with the specific doubling on the design are worth anything significant. So, how do you identify a double die error penny? You'll want to look for doubling on the inscriptions, specifically the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust." The doubling should be visible to the naked eye, especially when magnified, and you should be able to see a clear second impression of the letters just beside the original ones. Finding one of these coins is no easy feat, but if you do, the potential rewards are huge. But there's one more thing to keep in mind: the condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. If you find a 1981 D penny with the double die error, it's crucial to have it graded by a professional service. Grading is the process where experts assess the coin's condition, and the grade can significantly affect its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins in higher grades, like mint state 65 or above, will fetch significantly more at auction. If you're lucky enough to find a high-grade 1981 D double die error penny, you could be holding a coin worth several $100,000, or even more. Let's talk a little more about why errors like the 1981 D double die penny are so valuable. Collectors love mistakes. In the world of numismatics, errors make a coin stand out. And the rarer the mistake, the higher the value. The 1981 D double die is a rare minting error, but there are other types of errors that also increase the value of coins, like off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or incorrect planchets. Even though the 1981 D double die penny isn't as well known as some other rare coins, it's certainly a favorite among serious collectors, and its value has only grown over time. The unique history and rarity make this penny a true treasure in the world of coin collecting. Now, if you're thinking about collecting rare coins or looking through your spare change, keep an eye out for the 1981 D penny with the double die error. You could be holding a coin worth far more than its face value. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 1981 D penny and its incredible value. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about valuable coins and numismatic finds. And as always, happy hunting. Who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth millions. Last 2016 1 cent USA coin. Today, video, will uncover the value of the 2016 1 cent coin and why it's drawing so much attention from collectors. From rare minting errors to the history behind it, this coin is a lot more valuable than you might think. Before we dive into why the 2016 1 cent coin could be worth millions, let's take a quick look at the history of the penny. The US penny has been around for over 200 years, but the design you're familiar with today, the classic Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909. Since then, the penny has undergone several design changes, with the most recent update in 2010 for the reverse side, featuring the Union Shield design. Fast forward to 2016, a year that saw no major changes to the design of the penny, but that doesn't mean it didn't hold any surprises. The 2016 penny was still part of the Lincoln cent series with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. So why, you may ask, is this penny so valuable? Well, the story starts with the minting process. The US Mint struck billions of pennies each year, including in 2016. But every so often, a mistake is made during the minting process, resulting in a coin that is much more rare than the others. And in 2016, that's exactly what happened. The 2016 penny is one of the most interesting coins for collectors due to a rare minting error that took place during production. In this case, the error involves a double die on the obverse, specifically affecting the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the word "liberty." What this means is that the die used to strike the coin became misaligned during the minting process, causing the lettering to be doubled. As you can see, the doubling effect creates a unique, highly collectible version of the 2016 penny. This type of error is extremely rare and highly desirable in the world of coin collectors. These double die pennies were struck in limited numbers and are often referred to as double die obverse coins. Now, it's important to note that these double die error pennies aren't easy to find. They're extremely rare, and most people wouldn't even notice the doubling effect unless they're looking very closely. But when you do find one of these pennies, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But that's not all. In addition to the double die error, some 2016 pennies also had other significant minting flaws, such as off-center strikes or cut errors. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned with the die, leaving part of the design off the coin. A cut error, on the other hand, happens when a die breaks during the minting process, leaving a raised area of metal that forms a blob on the coin. These errors can make the coin even rarer and more valuable. These types of errors increase the value of the 2016 penny even further. So, if you come across a 2016 penny with any of these rare flaws, it could be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. Some of these 2016 pennies have already sold for over $100,000 at auction, but the most rare examples, like those with the double die obverse, could fetch $670 million or more, especially as the years go by and fewer of these coins remain in circulation. Now, you might be wondering how you can find one of these rare pennies. It's not as simple as just checking your loose change. You'll need to do some searching, whether it's going through rolls of pennies from the bank, checking your own pocket change carefully, or looking at online auctions and numismatic forums for potential finds. Once you find a 2016 penny, you'll want to carefully inspect it for any of these rare errors. The best way to do this is to use a magnifying glass or a loupe, and check for any doubling or other noticeable flaws on the lettering or design. If you're lucky enough to find one, it's crucial to get it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading is key when it comes to determining the value of a coin. Coins that are in mint condition, with minimal wear and tear, will be worth much more than those that have been damaged or show significant signs of wear. Coins that have been professionally graded are often valued much higher, and they can be resold for significant profits. But, what's behind the $670 million figure? You might be wondering, is that even realistic? Well, experts predict that as rare coins like these become harder to find, their value will only increase. The value of these coins isn't just tied to their face value or rarity, it's also about the demand among collectors. The rarer the coin, the more desirable it becomes. And over time, coins like the 2016 penny with unique errors could become priceless. Collecting rare coins is a passion for many people, and it's a hobby that's been growing in popularity. Whether it's looking for specific coins, building a collection, or just enjoying the thrill of discovering something unique, there's a lot of potential for big money in the world of coin collecting. So, if you're out there searching through your pennies, keep your eyes peeled for those rare minting errors on the 2016 penny. You never know when you might come across a coin that could be worth millions. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies and the incredible value of the 2016 US 1-cent coin. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more exciting content on valuable coins, collectibles, and treasures from the past. Stay tuned for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and all the hidden treasures that might be waiting in your pocket. Until next time, happy hunting.